first of all, I think this is accurately the 7th webinar series. We're calling it our October webinar. So welcome to our October webinar. I am Dan Brown. I'm the Senior Service Consultant at MGE, but in this auspices, I am the co-owner of Blumberg Digital. And we're here to service, obviously, our Blumberg Digital family and clients and such, but these are helpful tips that are going to help everybody in dentistry, okay? I am going to open up the floor at, a very soon point here to ask you what questions do you have, and I'm manning my chat. I'm going to be looking at my chat to see what questions you have, but I want you to say, hey, listen, I am here because of this. So if you're here to get a certain question answered, if you need help with something in marketing right now, type it in the chat. I'm going to be looking at that chat and watching that chat closely, but we are at the end of 2022, about to spring into 2023. And as it has been for about 2.5 years, some just interesting times. Now, I think we're through a lot of it. I think we're through the thick of it. 2020, absolutely crazy. 2021, you came out, if you did what we said, like a bullet out of a rifle. 2022 has been interesting, and I'm starting to see some trends broadly here at MGE. I do the new patient workshop, so I get to see people who have never experienced MGE or Blumberg Digital. Really interesting trends I'm seeing there with dental practices, and some things I want to share with you based off of studies that are being done, changes that are being made, big changes in Google. Some of you are sitting here chewing on the end of your fingers, like what's happening with Google? Well, they have just done, as they generally do, at least once a year and sometimes twice a year, a massive change. This one has impacted your Google ads, and quite negatively, just so you know, quite negatively to us as business people. To consumers, it's really no skin off their nose. But for us as business owners, wow, this recent change has been a doozy. So I'm going to talk a little bit on that. We're at the end of the year, which means there are going to be distractions. What are the distractions that we know? I mean, we know we got Halloween coming, not much of a distraction. Thanksgiving, the beginning of it. Then we have Black Friday and shopping and preparations for Christmas and everything else except for healthy teeth and gums. So you've got to be in a position to know that your attention is going to be commanded by you. And the attention of your patients is going to be commanded by about 900,000 other things other than their teeth and gums. So what do you got to do to make sure that our patients are healthy, that they are not walking into the holidays with some liability that could end them up in an emergency appointment, and they're spending their holiday period in an unfavorable fashion? So thumbs up if you're tracking so far. Okay, good. I'm going to go to the chat just to see what we got. Great to see everybody here. Great. So Daniel, good. So you've used a postcard company and invested with no results. Understood. Quick question. With any campaign or postcard, how long does it take for results? Yes, great question. Thanks so much. Great. Love your webinars. Love that you're here. Thank you. Hey, we've got Mary Lou Head here. Good to see you, doctor. All right. Okay, good. I'm going to start with those questions. So, Daniel, I'm going to address yours on postcards or any marketing. It is first and foremost frustrating because it's trial and error. Until you've grooved in a marketing channel, so be it a direct mail campaign, a Google Ads campaign, your social media, healthcare fairs, or social events, sponsoring, these sort of things are trial and error. I've got somebody who just did, they're coming at me with a billboard, an electronic billboard, $1,000 a week for one, location, $1,800 a week for another. Fortunately, it's not a month to month. It's a month to month. It's not a year or a 6-month time mandate. But I'm going to tell you, it's scary. It's scary. It could be fantastic. And because it's on a month-to-month basis, it's actually a weekly billing, but it's on a month-to-month basis. Yeah, if you're really anxious to try that, rock and roll. Go ahead and give it a shot. If you can stomach it, what I'm going to tell you is dial in one of your channels. Dial in a marketing channel first. And then from there, I want you to figure out how to, move over into adding additional channels. So I don't want you to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 channels. I want you to dial in one channel, get that one trial and errored out, get it working, get that cylinder popping, then add another channel, get that one popping and try it out. Maybe it doesn't work. And then you abandon that channel and you try another channel, but you are not solely relying upon any single channel ever until that one is, in place and working. Then you're going to add another channel. And that's marketing. When you're talking about postcards, I'm going to ask you this, Daniel, if you could light up your microphone. Great to see you, my friend. I'm gonna go.
Same here, Dan.
Okay, good. So let's talk about how long have you been at that campaign?
Okay, so it was through Postcard Mania,
Yep.
and we set up the whole campaign. They have a dashboard. They have a pretty formalized setup. You promote it. Yeah. And then we did within just a very isolated zip code, within a very finite circumference of the practice, we did just the zip codes within the area.
Okay.
And we did a 5,000 mailing, and then we did a 5,000 mailing.
Okay.
So the first went out in August, the second one went out in September. And I did a simultaneous, almost duplicate one in New Jersey under another campaign, and that one had has like 20 or 30 leads. So 10,000 postcards, maybe it has 3%.
Yeah,
10,000 would be like 3%, but this Manhattan postcard lead is like 0. Like the one I'm referring to is like 0. I was like crickets.
Okay, so frustrating, and I get it. So listen, I'm going to tell you this. You try a direct mail campaign, and Parissa will tell you all about direct mail. She's done trial and error. And Parissa, how long have you been at it? Parissa, as far as direct mail campaigns and postcards, how long have you been at it?
I think I've been doing it for about like a year and a half, maybe even 2 years.
Yep. Have you had frustrations?
For me, I think the most important thing is you just kind of have to keep playing with that postcard design until you like hit the money maker, basically.
Right.
And postcards are cheap, it's probably the cheapest marketing you can do. And it does work. I mean, I probably get 30 to 35 patients a month just from my postcards. Wow. I used to send 20,000 a month. I just increased it to 30,000. So It's all just like a numbers game, and your design just has to be spot on, which Dan can definitely help you with. And I think he showed mine last time. Mine is working for me, but obviously I'm in Los Angeles. So I think you might be in New York. So I mean, City, both insanely, heavy. There's a dentist, probably like 6 just in my, if you just turn 4 corners on a street, there's a lot of dentists here too. So it's all just a numbers game.
Yeah.
So
So on that, I'm going to say this is that she's worked at it. We've workshopped it. She's been persistent, and marketing is a persistency. By the way, guys, is this coming through clear? Because somebody mentioned that it was kind of breaking up. Is my audio good, kind of okay, or not so good? Okay. Excellent. Okay, good. Excellent. Thank you. So for anybody having a problem, just maybe check your internet connection. So on direct mail, now I like what you're doing as far as smaller runs and using that as a test campaign. The same thing we do on a Google Ads campaign is we're going to run the Google Ads campaign at a test budget amount. Once we find where the gold vein is, then we just start throwing the pick. Okay, so you ramp it up accordingly as you start to get results. And you're testing. You're early into your testing phase. Now, I have had people do exactly what you've done, Daniel, in their area with a postcard that was successful, not 1 hour away from a practice, from their practice, and it's what would be considered a similar demographic, and it never hit. So I don't want you to be discouraged too soon, but I do want you to go, okay, good. At some point, you might just go, this marketing channel isn't hitting, and now you're going to reallocate that funds down another avenue. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you're in, listen, you're in a rough area for postcards. I mean, there's a tolerance and an intolerance for every, different marketing campaign. So when you take a marketing channel, what's the tolerance of your public for that? And, what sort of bandwidth are they giving direct mail? You're kind of in a rough one. So I just want you to be aware of that's my experience in that area. That said, I've had somebody in that area that's working it and with success. So I'll do the best I can to share successes, but great question. Can we show? Yeah, you're welcome. And can she show one of her design? I'll send that to you. Just email me. Guys, write down my email address right now so that if you have any questions, danb@mgeonline.com. So Dan B, we're all at MGE, our first name, last initial, at mgeonline.com. I'll send you a copy of her postcard because she said it's okay to share it, provided you're not next door to her. Boom. All right. Now she also she also did it's not your conventional postcard line. Like, I've had great experience. I don't have a dog in the fight, so I'm not for or against Postcard Mania, for or against express promotion, but she's using Clipper. Clipper isn't necessarily available everywhere. And Clipper is nice because Clipper is cheap. So check to see if you got Clipper in your area, give that a run. Good. Any other questions? Any other questions that you have coming in that, hey, I would like to know? It's end of the year. This is the time to hit it. And I'm going to cover this repetitively, is that, if you want to start marketing, like say you need marketing today, you need marketing. Well, you're already too late. You're already too late. Doesn't mean that you don't start marketing. Doesn't mean that you don't start marketing, but the day that you need marketing is boy, you better have about 2 months prior been working on marketing. So I'll talk about the different channels and how long it takes to expect. But that said, I want everybody to get this in mind first and foremost. Let's say that Daniel all of a sudden has a patient come in on his, postcard campaign, and he did 5,000 of them, and he spent the money to produce it and to post it and stuff. I only got one patient. Okay. And maybe that patient only came in and spent $300. $300. You're like, okay, good. Wait a minute. I just spent thousands on this thing to get $300. I don't want you to think of it that way. If you retain that patient, which I know the people on this webinar, right? I know a lot of your offices quite intimately. If you do your usual magic to bring that patient in and make them, a true member of your practice's family, you retain them. We bring them into what's called a lifetime status. And it doesn't mean their lifetime or your lifetime. It just means what's the average expectancy that a patient's going to stay with a practice if they're happy. What's the average expectancy? Well, the average expectancy is, there's different studies, but call it 5 to 10 years. A more average is 10 years. A person's going to stick with the practice. Some of these patients that you've had for a long time, and they've been with you 3 generations. So it figures in that, and it figures in the person who's going to come in and move in a year. So let's call it 10 years. What is the average patient going to spend a year and over that 10-year lifetime? Well, conservative studies has said $10,000. They will need their routine maintenance, and then they'll generally need some work. And again, that's average. You'll have people that'll come in and spend $40,000. You have some people that come in and just get their routine cleanings because their hygiene is awesome. And, their teeth are apparently bulletproof. Great. We love them too. And we're happy for them. They're blessed with these amazing bulletproof teeth. All right. But the average, $10,000 is what we call a lifetime value of a new patient. In addition to the fact that every patient who is, truly happy with the practice is going to refer 2 additional new patients in that term. So you've acquired a person and you got 2 more. So that's 3 patients. Those 2 more, that's a relatively free acquisition cost because it's coming through a referral line. 2 more people who will also spend $10,000 in their lifetime. And that's a conservative study. We have done the study for our MGE clients who actually know how to present and get a great acceptance level. Oh my gosh. So, it's not $10,000. We know how to get the person to want what they need. So I want you to think with that. I want you to watch your marketing like a hawk. Totally okay. Totally be absolutely critical and, be an animal on your marketing spend. But do realize it's not what they spent when they came in that one time. If you actually acquire that person, that's got a lifetime value that would be generally $10,000 conservatively, plus that person will generally bring in over the term of the time they're with your practice 2 additional new patients. Thumbs up if you're tracking on what I just said. Very important point. Excellent. Okay, we've got, is Google Ads #1 in response? Also, there's a lot of different answers to that question, so I wouldn't ever blanketly answer that question. Are Google Ads your best form? Why do I like Google Ads? It's quick. It's quick. You're going to launch that campaign. We've got a lot of clients that will see results within the first 2 months. You're not banking on it. You launch your ads campaign. By month 3, you're hoping to break even. And then thereafter, you're looking to go for what's called multiples. So a 3x multiple, a 5x multiple, and ideally a 10x multiple. What's a multiple? Well, what are you spending on that campaign between the management fee and your budget? Good, $5,000. Okay, good. You're earning that back. That's your first goal. Then you're looking to double that. That's a 2x multiple. Make 10,000 off the 5,000 you spend. Great. Now go to 3x multiple. You're making 15,000 on the 5,000 you spent. And the best marketing in the world would be what would be considered a 10x multiple. Hard to find. Great when you get it and to dial it in. How long does it take to dial in a campaign? Generally 2 to 3 months. Google Ads is faster than a postcard campaign. Google Ads is faster than SEO. Google Ads is very, very fast, with the caveat that you got to be able to spend. A lot of people go into a Google Ads campaign and they want to spend $500 or $1,000 with Google. Don't even bother. Don't even bother. Go take your kids on a trip to a water park and spend that money. You're going to have a lot more satisfaction from that. And with a lot of our clients, they're in relatively busy areas. I mean, there's lots of other dentists and choices for consumers who are searching to find those, the dentists they're looking for. So you got to have a robust budget. If you're remote, you're sitting in some, cornfield and there's 2 dentists in the town, okay, well, you could probably go a little bit more conservative on that. And you might even want to go postcards before you do Google Ads. But if you are in an area that is what we call overserved, there are a lot of dentists in that area, then yeah, you're going to have to go robust. Google would generally suggest an ad budget for you. And if you're doing what's called their smart ads campaign, which there's nothing smart about it, you just say, start my ads, and you just let Google take over. Do not recommend it, but they'll generally say, okay, good. Well, our recommended budget is $1,000. Whatever they say, double or triple it, minimum. Whatever they say, double or triple the recommended budget by Google, because you're otherwise just going to be in the fray with everybody else. Great question. Most of our patients come from Google. Would it be beneficial to pay for ads anyway? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you are sitting in a position where you're getting a lot of traction from Google, well, first I want to tell you, well done. You've probably got great reviews. Okay. So that's a big deal. Second, invest in search engine optimization and get it done right. Not by a bozo, but somebody who really knows what they're doing. Third, if you're doing that, absolutely hit ads. Realize, everybody hold up 10 fingers for me. Everybody hold up 10 fingers. 10 fingers. Do it for me. Great. Now, out of 10 people, I want you to show me now on your fingers, how many out of 10 do you think click on an ad? Out of 10 people that do a search, how many click on an ad? Good. I got Parisa. I got 2. Good. 2, 3. Good. Checking this out. 1. Good. All right. Oh, you guys, some of you have been here before. I get it. You guys get it. Okay, good. So thank you for that. It's actually 1 out of 11. You only have 10 fingers. So I did the best I could, but it's 1 out of 11. It's crazy. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. So with that said, what do we do? Well, do we still do ads? Absolutely. Ads are amazing. Ads are fantastic. So I want you to think with 1 out of 11 people is a lot of people. That's a lot of people. So it gets you to the top quick. What you want to do is you want to do a great structured Google Ads campaign, and you want to pay for a Google Maps listing. Some of you are going to need some help with this, but I'm going to take a second to do this because I think it's important. Okay, what I've just typed in, I'm local here in, I'm actually in MGE right now, but you should all see my screen right now. Dentist near me. If you can see here, see that ad right there? That means it's a paid ad, paid ad, paid ad. Great. Then we come down here to the map, and this is where 10 out of 11 people go. They ignore this. If you're an ad ignorer like me, raise your hand. I ignore ads. I go right past them. Great. Good. But 1 out of 11 people will click that. And that's a lot of people. So rock and roll. That's Google Ads. Then you come down here. Now, if you look here, right at the top of the maps, we call these maps listings or Google local search. That's where you want to be. Right at the top here, it says ad. Awesome. Hit that you want to be there. And we can help you get there. You just have to know that you first have to advertise here in order to get an ad here. So you just add in what's called a maps ad listing. Great. Then you have organic. Now, here, this is organic. Now, Great Expressions, we all know is a corporate, and you can see it by their review rating, 3.7 stars. Yow. All right. So if you're going to be here, this is great, but you better have great reviews. And then you click more places. 2 maps listings. Okay. Those are ads. And then look at here, 551. These are all organic now. Okay, now this is a bit skewed because you do a search for your practice, not valid. You can't do it from your computer, your phone, because Google knows that you're there all the time. It's not an accurate representation of where you are. We can do an analysis of where you sit organically. So I'm going to tell you this, Google Ads, should you? Absolutely. SEO, absolutely. If you're getting a lot of Google traffic, you want to invest in that heavily, and yeah, it'll pay in spades. That's a great question. Any other questions that have come in? Good. All right, I'm going to get on with the main course of the presentation. I thought you guys would be a little bit more vocal on that, but that's totally okay. I'm going to go into first thing, we're doing a Halloween game, and guess what? You should too. Everybody note this. You should too with your patients. What's our game at Blumberg Digital? Well, this year, Blumberg Digital is holding a Halloween costume contest for all Blumberg Digital clients. The office with the best costumes, whether that's 1 or 10 representatives from your office, will win a free month of management fee for our digital reactivation service, which is a $1,500 value. Email your photo or video submissions to Julia no later than November 1st, and the winner will be chosen on November 2nd. And there's Julia's email address. She's julia@bloombergdigital.com. Now, I want you to get into the spirit of things, okay? This is, you've all been to MGE, and you all know. How do you go up the tone scale? Well, a couple things take you up the tone scale. One, you got to, eliminate trouble, patients, and certainly anybody trouble in your life. But, the lower part of the tone scale has got to be out of your life, and you're not bringing them into practice and trying to make them happy, because they'll never be happy. But more than that is you get into production and you move and you set targets and you achieve those targets, and then you do games. Raise your hand if you do games in your practice. You have games, production games, bonuses, right? Raise your hand if you think that the games help you increase your tone level. How many of you like games, right? And how many of you like bonuses and like to win and like more money and, right? So that's all cool. That's not necessarily why staff do it solely and only. They do it because it's fun. Man, when you go to work, you want to have fun. And that's what it's about, having fun. So I want you to think with games, and I want you to think with instituting games. We're going to institute a game. We're going to, do some digital reactivation for the office that does it great. I want you to think with the same thing for your patients. Make it fun. You should have a pumpkin carving contest. Maybe have some pumpkins right there that you can have somebody, dig into, their kids come or whatever. Do an event. This is the time. What are we doing? We're getting the creativity into going into the holiday period and not opposing it and not going against it, but we're going with it. And that brings me to where I want to go. So I've asked you this. What do you want help with? We are right now at 32 minutes into this, so you're welcome to keep your questions coming in the chat, but ask me any questions you got. But now, what are we going to really hit hard today? Well, end of the year actions. So I've got a few points I'm going to be covering, but I'm going to tell you right now, end of the year actions include but are not limited to setting your targets and playing games to achieve those targets. Do you guys have your goal for this month laid out? Do you have your goal for November laid out? Do you have your goal for December? And do you have a sprint game until the end of the year? And if so, what do your staff get? What's the fun? What's the big party? What's the bonus? What's the what? Okay. So those are setting your targets, and you play for blood, but you have fun doing it, right? You don't just, we are going to hit these targets or you're all in trouble. No, that's not fun. I don't want to go there. I don't want to work there. I want to go to where it's fun. We're hitting this target. And if we do, boy, we're going to have a blast. So thumbs up if you understand targets and setting goals, playing games. Excellent. Great to see. Good. Next thing you should have, if you have not yet started your use it or lose it campaign. I've seen a number of you doing it. I've seen your social media posts. Good on you. You want to do it by email. You want to do it by bulk text. You want to do it by post, whether it's a postcard or whatever. And I would, if I were you, I would do a video message. Guys, this is so simple. This is so simple. People say, how do we do this? Well, here's how you do this. Everybody watch my screen. Hi, it's Dan here from ABC Family Dentistry, and we just want to let you know that somebody's going to try and take some money from you that you should actually deserve. Okay, not really, but what happens at the end of the year, if your insurance is not used, come the end of the calendar year, kaput, it's gone. It resets for the next year. So take advantage of the fact that you have those benefits until the end of the year. And if you have questions about that, call us. We want to just make sure that if you need something in dentistry, you take advantage of it. It's your last chance before the end of the year. Call us if you have any questions. My name's Dan. I'm here for you. We all are. Have a great end of the year. 45 seconds. That's what it took. So pick one of your staff member to make that announcement, post it on social media. Now, what if they're in Acme? And you're not in Acme, you're not in network with Acme. Well, so what? You're still going to help them file their claim. They might not be in network in your practice, but you're still going to help them. Raise your hand if you're still going to help them. Yeah, of course you are. So I get that question. Yeah, but what if we're not in network with Acme or whatever? Okay, well, then they're not, but they should still use their insurance. And you're helping educate them on it. Keep it fun, keep it uptone. Do not do this. Everybody look at the screen. Do not do this. Hi. My name is Dan, and I'm from ABC Dental. We are just giving you a courtesy message. No, do not. If you want to script it, okay, but then read the script like 20 times and then come on and take the script away. Just put some bullet points beneath the camera, okay? And that's a great thing to do. Take a piece of paper, rip it off, get a big, thick pen, bullet points like that on it, tape it to the bottom of the camera. Can you guys see that? You can't, but I'm reading it right now. Hi, end of the year special. I just want to talk to you about that. You probably couldn't tell that I was reading directly off that page. If I was reading word for word, my eyes would be doing this. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. So, but get a video message out. Thumbs up if you think you can. Thumbs up if you think you can. Thumbs sideways, kind of. Thumbs up, you hate the idea and you're never going on camera. I understand. Guys, realize this. People aren't there to judge what you look like. Do you have a double chin? Don't you sound stupid? They're not there for that. They're going to be like, oh my gosh. That's right. I have these insurance benefits. I better call them to find out. They're there for content. They're not there for, it's not a beauty contest. Okay. So back onto the slide. Use it or lose it. And can you all see this? Can you see my screen? Okay, good. So use it or lose it, get it out. We do a digital reactivation campaign, which is just awesome. You generally get, if you haven't done it, generally get about 10 to 25 appointments from our digital reactivation service. If you have a question about that, send it to Alex at Blumberg Digital. She's waving her hands right now. Alex, ALEX at bloombergdigital.com. And we'll help you run a use it or lose it campaign. But you want to be doing this October, do it again in November, and do it again in December. And yes, text, email, postcard, social media posts. And come December, after you think, well, man, I've just used all those channels. Everybody's heard it. They're tired of hearing it. I even got 3 people that said, stop talking to me. Okay, yeah. Unsubscribe them so that you stop talking to them. But somebody's going to roll in December 15th. Oh my gosh, I just got your message. Okay, well, you know that you sent it to them 3 times. You know that you've been hitting them, but that's the way things go. So October, November, December, 3 times every single channel. Thumbs up if you understand that. Excellent. Good. Next point, specials for each month. Have something fun and special. Anytime you do a special, I would tailor it around, it's called an event-based special, event-based special. An event means that event's coming and then it's gone. So it's got an expiry date on it. So the event coming is Halloween. What's your Halloween special for October? What's the next event? Thanksgiving. We're giving back to you. Our special is blank for Thanksgiving. Christmas, end of the year, fine. Listen, there's all different people of all different faiths. So you might not want to say Christmas, but holiday special, right? And then we're going to be into the New Year's, we're going to have launch, beginning of the year special. You want an event-based special that has an expiry date on it and has value. So if we're talking about a big ticket item, such as Invisalign, if we're talking about a big ticket item, such as veneers, right? So good, do X number of veneers, get one for free. For Invisalign, $500 off. Do not put the entire price tag of a big ticket item. Or if it's a smaller ticket item, such as whitening, say $150 off, now, and then put in small print, whatever the price is. Now, you also have to follow your codes for your state. So do what you have to do on marketing for that. But specials, event-based specials that are time sensitive and limited, because it's going to get me as a patient to get off my bootay and get into the practice, right? Get off the couch and move. That's what time does. And as consumers, we have lots of commercial messages. I know some of you are sitting there going, yeah, I don't want to be bargain basement dentistry. That's not who we are. Good. I'm not trying to make you that. Not trying to make you that. But realize that as consumers, now let me ask you as consumers, everybody's got to participate. Everybody's got to participate in this. All right, hold on now. Somebody. All right. So question, how many of you have been impelled to make a decision, a purchasing decision, because a special came along for something you've been considering, and that made you get off the couch and go do something? Raise your hand if that's ever happened. Everybody's raising their hand. Everybody except for Daniel. Daniel's like, no, man, I pay full price. No. Okay. All right. So listen, even if you don't, just know that people do. And it's very important for people to know that they're getting some value. So I want you to think with that. There is a mechanism that gets somebody to move because they're saying, oh yeah, I gotta do this. So, okay, good. I'm gonna try and get my slideshow going again, if I can. Where is it? Okay, good. So just got through point 1. Point 2, start your SEO and your paid ads now. I don't care if you don't need them. If you don't need them right now and you got plenty of people and you don't know where to put them, you don't know where to fit them, okay, you market. I'm telling you this for 2 reasons. And, listen, we got plenty of clients. This is not like, oh, this is a sales tactic. I'm telling you this right now. We see economic trends. We also see patient trends. Okay, patient trends are starting to, I don't know what you're seeing in your practice. Raise your hand if you're starting to see a little bit of a slip. The last couple of months have been a little bit different than the beginning of the year. Raise your hand if you've seen it a little bit slower. Okay, good. A lot of people raising their hands. Listen to what I just said. A lot of people are raising their hands. They're seeing changes, and it's consumer changes. The consumers right now are being hit in the face with, it's a recession. We're going into recession. The recession is here. The recession is being, whitewashed and quieted down. Whether there is or there isn't, doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. If they're being hit with that message, we have a thing which becomes agreement. Agreement is reality. The definition of reality is agreement. Whether it's true or not, that's what people think. So if they think like that, what do? What do people do when they think that there's an economy turn? What do they do with their money? Show me with your hands. What do they do with their money when they think there's an economy turn? Exactly, Chris. Exactly, guys. You're like, no. Okay. Well, that's understandable, except for this isn't a new TV or a barbecue or a trip to Malaysia. This is their health. Okay. Or in some cases, this is their cosmetic. This is how they appear on Zoom every day. This is how they appear as a salesperson or as a customer representative. So yeah, even if it's cosmetic, it could be very impinging to their career, their life, their confidence. So you're there for something different. You're not there to just sell them something else. So get your marketing going. Trust me when I tell you this, it's on the horizon. Start now. Now, Google, I mentioned there's been a massive change. I'm not going to get into this. Maybe I'll do a video. Alex, maybe we should do a video announcement of what's happening with the Google ads, and I'll get that out. It's technical, but I'm telling you right now, Google just did a massive change. So if some of you have seen that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not getting the kind of traction that I was getting on my Google ads 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Yep, Google just did a massive change. Such a change that if us here at Blumberg Digital, the ones managing your Google ads, if we weren't on top of it, your money would have been gone like that, okay, with almost no traction. What we did is we closed the floodgates, because Google, what they did is they had a specific keyword criteria, meaning if dental implants, best, painless, but okay, good. I could take those 4 words, somebody types those 4 words and I get your ad to show up. Now, if it's kind of similar to that, your ad shows up and people are clicking ads left, right, and center, but they have no interest in going there. So you get a bunch of tire kickers wasting your ad budget. We found that out. We've shut that down. We're redesigning campaigns so that you're not wasting your Google ads budget. But I'm telling you, it's gotten weird. So we're navigating it, but start your ads campaign. We're coming up with some really cool stuff. It's getting traction. So watch this space, but launch your ads, launch your SEO. The longer you wait, it's not just, okay, good, I'm putting it off 2 months, I'll have to add 2 months. No, your competition's getting ahead of you. So it's going to be a longer road ahead the longer you wait. So that's that. Social proof, keep it going. Consumers, when they get to your ads landing page, when they get to your website, when they get to your social media page, when they get to your Google business profile, they don't want to see stock photos. They don't want to hear what you have to say about you. They want to hear from your patients. And it's getting more and more in demand. Testimonials, before and after photos, capture your best Google reviews, Yelp reviews, Facebook reviews, capture them, screen capture them, bring them into your website, place them all over. Have your patients talk to your future patients. Have your patients talk to your future patients. For you, yeah, you could say a few things if you want, but I'm going to show you how to do that here in a second. Okay, I'm on point 3. Thumbs up if you track point 1, 2, and 3 so far. Thumbs sideways, kind of. Thumbs down, you're lost. Okay, and I don't see everybody here because, boy, we got a lot of people here. If you have a question, pipe in right now. Open up your microphone and pipe in right now if you got a question, because I can't even watch the chat. Such a big screen of all these videos. You guys look great, by the way. I hear a phone. Okay, I'm rolling. But I don't hear anybody. Okay.
There's one from Dr. Ho, Dan, sorry, in the chat, which I can read off.
Yeah, could you read it, please?
Yep. We have new patients calling in, but we are very short-staffed. Some patients do not want to wait months for a new patient exam. How should we handle even more new patients we should get through extra marketing?
Yeah, so understood on that problem. Trust me, that's the best problem in the world to have. The best, okay? So my suggestion to you first, this is somewhat an internal organization thing. So I'm going to have you reach out to me in kind of my auspices under MGE and not in Blumberg Digital or your Power Client Manager. But I'm going to tell you whatever it takes right now, get people in, hygienist, front desk, administrative staff, whatever, even on a temporary basis, get people, temps in, get these people seen. You cannot be putting people 2-3 months out. You will lose them. You will lose them. And, you just don't want to be losing people right now. This is a time to acquire and hold, build that relationship for a lifetime. This is not the time to put people off. And even if the person says, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Sometimes they're going, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Let me call the next practice. And that's what they do. And you know that. That's what they do. Because that's what we do. We don't want to lose our spot, but that's why we have our spouse stand in that line while we go in the other line, when we're standing in line at Costco, right? And we're going to see who gets there first, right? We're going to keep both appointments and then cancel one. How many of you do that? It's okay. Raise your hand. I do it. Yeah, right. So that's what your patients are doing. Don't do it. Get people in, but get your marketing going. Trust me. When January comes, here, I wish I had a sound effects machine, but I'm going to try to do my best right now. Cricket, cricket, cricket. Are you getting it? Right. You don't want to be crickets come January. So get your marketing going. Listen, some of you guys you're going and you're monsters at it. I see we got Dr. Dill's office. We got a bunch of people here who are just monsters on marketing. They're never going to stop. And, the purpose of marketing is, okay, anybody involved in marketing, raise your hands. If you're involved in marketing and it's part of your job in the practice, raise your hands. Okay, good. Listen closely to what I'm about to tell you. Purpose of marketing is to drive in more business than the organization can possibly waste through inefficiencies and misadministration. Purpose of marketing is to drive in more business than the organization can possibly waste through internal inefficiencies and misadministration. Drive it in. Now, once that's being done, solve the other problems to handle it. Trust me when I tell you this. You want the problem. I've got so many people calling, I don't know where to put them. Got so many bodies, I don't know how to stack them. Lovely, lovely. Let's solve that problem. You don't want the other problem, because the other problem is this. Good, now we're going to, get everything in place. We're going to get everybody trained. Now we're ready, but we didn't market, and now it slows down. Now you got all this full staff, dressed nice. They look beautiful, smiles. We're ready, and no patience. And now you got to start letting people go, and that's not nice. Nobody likes that. They don't like it. You don't like it. Don't do it. Great question. Thank you for that question. Good. Any other questions on the chat, Alex, or are we good to go?
Yes, so I have one more from Carmen from Wynn Dental Office. She asks, for posting pictures, do you recommend getting a consent from the patient?
I don't only recommend it, I highly suggest it. Only in the case that it's full mouth and you cannot identify the patient. Absolutely, absolutely. You can use that, but if it shows the full face, which it should, you should show off your patient's full face. Awesome. Get that HIPAA consent. If you need one, you email me. I'm going to send you a sample and you just get it checked by your local HIPAA consultant. Great question. Good. I'm going to keep going. How's the content so far? You guys happy, kind of happy, or you're not hitting why I'm here? Okay. Good. Okay, good. Excellent. So point 4, social community. This is the time to build relationships with your patients beyond just, yes, I'm a dentist, ho-hum. I'm a dentist, ho-hum. We're a dental office, ho-hum. We can, ho-hum, help you, okay? No, this is the time to build bonds, because if and when things get a bit tight, people are gonna go, first off, let me ask you this question. Raise your hand if you want more fee-for-service types, less insurance types. Raise your hand. You want more fee-for-service, less insurance dependency. Raise your hand. You want more fee-for-service, less insurance dependency. It really worries me when people don't raise their hand on that question. Okay, probably didn't have your volume up enough. All right, good. So I'm going to tell you this. You want fee-for-service types? The way to get fee-for-service types is you bond with the person. You're looking for people who care more about their experience, their health, their teeth, their gums, their family, the quality of the experience. How many of you would be willing to pay a few extra bucks to have great service as opposed, say, a few less bucks and get kind of shoddy service? How many of you would pay a few extra bucks to get good service? Yeah. Says just about everybody, right? So that being the case, be that for your patients. And I know that you do that on a clinical basis and on an administrative basis when they come in. That's great. But now in your practice, I want you to focus on some things. So local social fun. Now, I want you all to pretend that you're potential new patients in the area of the dental practice that I work, okay? So pretend that you're a potential patient in a geographical area where my practice is. I put this post out. Hey, it's Dan from ABC Dental. I just want to make an announcement. Here is a photo of, this is Dixie. Dixie we got down at the local shelter. And Dixie is a mix. We don't know what she is, but she's cute. Now, this is a photo of Dixie before, and this is a photo after we teamed up with A1 Grooming right down the street. We want to get Dixie adopted. And do us a favor. Share this photo of Dixie and this post. We want Dixie to get adopted by the end of the week. And the person who shares it to a person who adopts them is going to get whitening for life or some good, fun, free dentistry. The person who adopts Dixie is also going to get whitening for life or some fun, free dentistry. Guys, we just want Dixie adopted. Help us out. Share this around. How many of you would probably take that photo of cute little Dixie all like nappy and with after photo of Dixie all duffled up and, the ribbon and painted nails? How many of you would share that around to get Dixie adopted? Now, what does that have to do with dentistry? Nothing. What does it have to do with family dentistry? Everything. Team up with your community. Find local fun things. These are not hot topics. These are not like, hey guys, we're having a convention about the Second Amendment. No. You know, don't go there. You know, talking about these rights. No, don't go there. I don't care if you feel that way. This is not, don't involve that kind of stuff anymore. Pick hot topics, but they're topics that just about everybody can get behind. Toys for Tots. Oh my gosh. Get behind Toys for Tots. Do a whole drive, a community drive. Get people to share it around. Do you see? And what is this called? Is this marketing? No, this is called public relations. Public relations is good works well publicized, getting people to think well and positively about you. So when they're contemplating spending $200 extra at your office for a crown, they're going, well, actually, they did get Dixie adopted. And I think they did do a Toys for Tots thing. They're there for their kids. And I think they did something for the local school. And and they got great reviews and awesome testimonials. Yeah, $200 per crown for 4 crowns. It's for the kids. I'm doing it for the kids. Thumbs up if you understand what I just said and did. Excellent. Okay, good. So that's community fun. That's community engagement. Okay. I want you to think with a Halloween pumpkin contest. Get creative with it. Share it around. Guys, go to our Blumberg digital social media page. Share your successes. Show people what you're doing. Get an idea of what's being done. Boy, we're putting great stuff up there for everybody that's being featured. Well done. Keep it up. You guys are just awesome. But go to our page and look at, we're posting samples of your work. We're not even claiming that it's ours. We're showing what you guys are doing that's successful in getting traction. So Thanksgiving, think about a great Thanksgiving thing. Toys for Tots, and then videos for shorts. Shorts. What is Dan talking about? Shorts. Well, we just did this with Dr. Rich Salvatore. Here he came down to MGE, and we could do it if you guys come out for your next trip. We had a videographer do some sit-down interview with videos, and it was awesome. But then we did a bunch of shorts, and I'm going to show you. How many would you like to see these shorts? These are shorts we're going to run on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Great. So let me show you. Okay, now we're going to put music to this because the way things work with Instagram and TikTok is you can pick the music on TikTok. So there's no music on these, but what did we do? We did, we set up a microphone for Dr. Salvatore, and we got some subjects and just got him live, and then we edited it, and he's going to be running these on a schedule. So you can see my screen. Okay, so let's talk about gum disease.
I get the question a lot, what happens when I'm brushing my teeth and I look down and I spit and there's blood? So that actually is an indication that you could have one of two things. It's called gum disease, which is gingivitis, or bone disease, which is periodontitis. Both are not great things to have. The one funny thing about both of those diseases is that they're pain-free, so it might not hurt, but if you see red in the sink, you definitely have one of those. The good thing is they can be resolved by coming to us and us properly treating your gums. Not resolved, it leads to loose teeth and then sometimes tooth loss.
Good. How many of you think you could do that video? Raise your hand. Somebody in your practice could do that video. Right. Real easy tip. Content. You see that we did some cuts. That's today. Listen, the consumer today, they don't want pauses. They don't want to sit here. Like, look at the pace that I go at this. I'm sitting here. By the time I'm done with one of these webinars, I'm sweating. Okay. Because I know you guys are like, come on, let's get to it. Let's go, Dan. Let's go. Even you. Now, on social media, you got to get through the swipers, right? Swipers are going to swipe quickly. So you got to grab their attention quick. So the video editor takes a subject. There's one I really liked. One was this one.
So a lot of patients are embarrassed that they haven't been to the dentist in a great amount of time. One saying that I heard a long time ago is the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is today. So we don't judge here at Salvatore Dental. Please come in. We want to help you with your teeth, and we understand that a lot of people procrastinate, especially about teeth, and we're only here to help.
So another short. What do you guys think about that? Thumbs up, medium, or down? What do you think? Good. How about this one? I like this one.
A lot of patients want straight teeth just because the way it looks and it looks nice to have a nice straight smile. As dentists, we actually see the importance of having straight teeth is more than just looks. It's the fact that your teeth come together properly. If your teeth are coming down properly, we don't wear our teeth over time, and we make sure that we keep our smile and our gum health great long term. If our teeth are all crowded, it's very difficult for you to clean at home, and it's difficult for us to clean in the office. So having straight teeth, one benefit of course is looks, but for us is to make sure that you have your teeth for your lifetime.
Good. So these are called shorts. They are topical, easy things that you get asked all the time, or that you say all the time. And I want you to think with the very many things that you get asked all the time or that you say repetitively. And what you're going to do is when somebody comes in and they're looking at a veneers case, or they're looking at an implant, and they don't know the difference between a bridge and an implant, or why would you replace their bridge with an implant instead of just another bridge, or why should they consider an implant instead of a bridge? Here's one thing. Let me actually go back to this. I actually like how this was explained, because you can send a patient home with this to better understand.
So I have a lot of patients who have missing teeth and they don't really mind because it's towards the back and you don't really see it. There are actually a lot of issues that occur when you're missing a tooth in the back. The other teeth start to move around and it can change the whole bite, which eventually will lead to more tooth loss, and that tooth loss can come towards the front. So it's super important to make sure that we have all of our teeth, the front ones and the back ones.
And
if you have a missing tooth, there's two options to replace your tooth permanently. One would be to have a fixed bridge. A bridge is basically where we use the tooth in front and the tooth behind, and we whittle those down, we make them kind of smaller, and now we've got a bridge that cements onto those teeth. One of the reasons why that's not the best treatment is we're taking two usually perfectly good teeth before and after the missing tooth and making them smaller, and now we're kind of involving them to fix this problem. A better treatment would be for us to do a dental implant. A dental implant is basically a prosthetic tooth root. So we take a surgical grade titanium tooth root, we place it where the tooth is missing, and on top of that goes an abutment and a crown. Now you brush and floss normally, and most importantly, the tooth in the front and the back of the missing space are not touched.
oh, this one's actually, let's see.
Here at Salvatore Dental, all of our implant surgery is computer guided. Usually when you go in for an implant, we know approximately where it would be. This is called freehand surgery. So most places you get an implant, they go in literally freehand. You get numb and they figure out where that implant's going to be placed. We plan all of the cases guided with computer technology, where we place the implant virtually on the computer, and then we print out a guide. So when you come in, you get numb, we place the guide, and the implant goes in the perfect position. It's all computer guided. You're not worried about relying on the surgeon and the ability of his hand that day.
Online dentist, this one you guys will like.
The one thing that I'd be careful of online is kind of dental work that you can get from the internet. There's a lot of things that say that you're going to straighten your teeth without seeing a dentist. I'd be very cautious of this, because I've seen a lot of patients who went through this treatment. Their teeth are actually loose, and some patients' teeth have been lost due to these procedures. So it's super important you see us at Salvatore Dental or another dental provider for all of your dental needs.
Okay, how many of you agree with that? How many of you agree with that? Yeah. How many of you have seen the effect of people who've done online dentistry and they've messed things up? Raise your hands if you've seen that. Yeah, it's bad. I mean, it's sometimes irreversible. Oh, and you don't see me because my video is not on. Hi, I'm back. Okay, good. So yeah, it's vital that you get these messages out. Now, everybody put on your fingers how many hours you think it took for him to film 25 of these. Show me with your fingers how many hours you think it took him to film 25 of those. I got two, I got four, I got three, yeah, it took him 30 minutes. 30 minutes. 30 minutes. How many of you have 30 minutes that you waste on watching, bulldog puppies on YouTube? Yep, me too. Okay, totally okay. Watch those bulldog puppies because they're dang cute. But I want you to make a list of the questions you get asked routinely. Have one of your staff members, if you're not comfortable doing it, have a couple of your staff members take it up. Now, what did we do? Well, we pulled out the phone. We held it sideways. Everybody pull out your phone. Everybody pull out your phone. Hold it in front of the camera. And I want you to hold it sideways. We call that landscape. Everybody say landscape, even if I can't hear you. Everybody say landscape. Good. Good. Now hold it portrait. Good. Now Don't do that. Shake your head, say, no, that's bad. Right? No. So back to landscape. That's how you film it. I can take the landscape and make it portrait, but I can't take portrait and make it landscape. So get the thing landscape, put it on one of these. Hopefully you got a full video so you can see this. I got this tripod that holds a phone. Okay. I got it on Amazon. This one was like really expensive. It's like $35. And I set it up. And then I got a little microphone that plugs into my iPhone and into the lightning jack, and then on his lapel for $30, wireless. So cool. And I gave it to Rich, and he's been using it. And that's $35, $30 for the microphone, wireless, plugs right into the iPhone jack, and 35 minutes. Now, Allison, our video editor, has been editing and adding captions because some people don't, they don't play with volume because they're sitting in a spot where they don't want people to know that they're on the phone, like the bathroom or wherever. Okay. And so they'll read the captions, but it's great information. So I want you to make a list of the functions, of the questions, of the messages, and then we just recorded it. We let it go. And if he messed up, he started over. He did a paragraph at a time. And she just chop. And videos like that keep it very fast and interesting. Thumbs up if you understand that. Sideways, kind of. Down, I'm lost. Okay, great. How many of you think that would be valuable and that you would want such a thing and that you would like help getting that? Okay, good. I suggest it because now you can take those videos. They can be stored on YouTube. You can send people home with quick videos, little like minute and 30 tops. And you send somebody home with 3 or 4 videos that they could share with their spouse or partner or friend or, parent or son or whoever's paying for the treatment, and go over that if they didn't close in the practice or if they're strongly now considering something that they weren't earlier. So that's that. I'm going to get back into the presentation. We are over on time, but I got some good stuff still. Good stuff. And
there's a few questions in the chat.
Oh yeah, let's go. Yeah,
whatever you want to address them. Okay,
let's do it.
So let me grab the first one. First one is, how does appearance of the office, cleanliness, and staff dress code affect new patients?
Great. So appearance, dress like you normally dress. I asked Dr. Salvatore, he had literally just walked off stage because he spoke at one of our ABCs and he was in a suit. That's what he had. I said, did you bring a lab coat? He says, I didn't. But he normally is just kind of in casual, but he's like, however you are, that's what I want you to do. As far as that's a great question on what should it be like and what's the background stuff. Do you guys see how noisy my background is? It is noisy, but relatively so. I'm going to bring up something that you'll see here in a second. So on the new Android phones and on a bunch of stuff, there are what are called, it's like a blurred background, and you want the blurred background setting. The blurred background setting on Apple is called cinematic when you're doing video. If you have an iPhone 13 or 14, raise your hand. iPhone 13 or 14, raise your hand. Good. If you don't, and you have an iPhone 12 or earlier, and if you have the new Androids, boy, they even have better blurred background settings. But if you don't have that, that's fine. But I want you all to look at my background right now. Do you see how it's kind of blurring me? Okay. What it's doing is it's forcing you to look at me. Now, this is not as good as your iPhone. And you see this little stuff around my head, but it actually is still better because the background is less distracting. Now I'm going to unblur the background. Look, you see how everything's in focus? So now your attention is more likely to go anywhere else as opposed to here. So I find a nice balance, but the new phones do that. If you don't have it, pick a decent background, but do not stand flat up against a wall. Don't stand flat up against a wall. So that's that. Dress code, just how you normally are. Nice. Staff, makeup, and for the girls too. That was a joke. And then for, got to keep it fun. And then, look nice. And then here's what's going to happen when you start filming. You're going to get frustrated. If you get frustrated, go out, walk, chew a piece of gum, scream at a dumpster, come back a little bit later and start up. You don't want like aggression in the video, okay? And it can be frustrating, but after a while, you just start going, you just start going, you just start going. Have somebody behind the camera that's doing this, right? So they're literally recording like this. Okay, so they look really like, you know, they're egging you on a little bit and they're cueing you, and it's just so you're not by yourself. So that was good. What was another?
Yeah, next one is, in order for social fun to work, you need to have a large social media following.
Except, oh, bye, Parissa. Or you say bye to me, or you say bye? Okay, good. I thought you were leaving me. I hate it when you leave me. Okay, so no, so for social following, what you're going to do is you're going to get some, and then you're going to boost the post. You're going to spend $25 and boost the post. Now, what does boosting a post do? Well, whoever follows you, the boosting now gets their friends and such exposed to your post. So you're going to start boosting these posts. You're going to do a great post and you're going to boost it. And when you boost the post, if you don't know how to do that, we can help you with that, okay? But when you boost a post, you can actually select a demographic. You can select a geographical demographic, interest, age. You can get pretty specific. So what you're doing is anybody following your page, it's now going to hit their friends. And that's who we want. That's a great question. Thank you for asking that. And what was the other question?
Would you recommend on every social media platform?
Okay, good. So every social media platform, sure, if you got it. Like, I don't know if Dr. Rizvi's here or somebody from her office, but you know, they've got a rockin', you know, social media platform. But as does Dr. Dills. I mean, hey, Tamara, can you open up your microphone? Everybody welcome Tamara and give her a hand because she's just a PR rock star. There she is.
Hello.
Good. So Tamara, you guys are on what platforms now?
We are on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I, of course, post all the time on Google My Business.
Yep.
I track the views on those photos, which we receive quite a bit from Google.
Yep.
And YouTube. We have been picking up with YouTube a little bit. That's somewhere where I do like, but on all social media platforms, if I'm posting for Facebook or just anything, I'm posting on all of those.
It's pretty easy to get your workflow down once you have those things in place. Would you agree, Tamara?
I agree.
Yeah. So listen, start with one. Once you got Facebook, you can add Instagram because Facebook owns Instagram, and you can post to both platforms. One strike, you know, like one post and it goes both places. Okay. So that's a little tip. Then TikTok, you know, some of you are like, oh, TikTok, I'm never going there. Well, we said the same thing about Instagram, didn't we? And didn't we say the same thing about Facebook? So if you don't go there, you're not going to die. But I'm going to tell you, Tamara, can you tell me a little bit? I say Tamara, but you know, it's Tamara.
It's fun.
Okay, good. Can you tell me a little bit about what are you hearing back from TikTok? What are you hearing back from Instagram? What are you hearing back from Facebook? Where are people giving you the most comments and engagement today?
So Facebook, of course, is our biggest. TikTok has actually been surprising me lately. We've actually gotten more interaction with people that, you know, like our following group has started climbing. The one thing I do say is, like, I know it's weird, and sometimes it's like, how did my kids help me with TikTok? Like, they teach me all the tricks. So if you want to start the views up on TikTok, your following group, you have to post daily. And we have a TikToker that's a patient of ours, and she's got like 4,000 or 5,000 viewing followers. And she said, you have to post more than once a day. So, you know, I know Dan's said, like, you got to be posting more than once a day. You got to be posting like 3 times a day. So,
good. And I've just listened, for everybody here, you want to get a post done a week on Facebook, start there. Then 2 posts a week, and then 3 posts a week. Now, listen, I've just put their TikTok in the chat. You all can click that, save it, or whatever. It's Nougat Dentistry. It's TikTok. And I want you to go there. They have a great time doing it. But before anybody goes there and goes, oh my gosh, I can never do that. They're like jumping around and singing and having so much fun. We're not like that. That's totally fine. But I also want you to think with, I'm going to put this. So Dr. Arvin Filliman, he's a client of Blumberg Digital as well. Aesthetics Dental Spa. TikTok. He just found somebody. I think he pays him about $20 an hour. And she's doing all the videos. That's all. She does the before and after photos, the testimonials. And I'm telling you, it's, you know, and Arvin's sitting here going, what is all this stuff? I don't get it. And he just plays along. He just shows up and she tells him what to do and he does it and she posts it. She edits it. She puts some music there and it's rocking. I mean, it's rocking. So if you don't like it, find somebody who does, have them do it, look over it. I know it's kind of cringy initially, but you'll get used to it. I'd love you to study Nuga. I'd love you to study Salvatore Dental. I'd love it if you study Dr. Rizvi's page, which is My Dentist for Life. Her Instagram is just awesome. You know, and I want you to think, it's not perfect. You don't have to be perfect. It's organic. People love that it's organic, it's personal and stuff. But I want you to think with, this is not just for marketing. This is for public relations. This is to reach people and get them to go, oh, I get a better idea about who these people are. Great question. How do you mass email? Weave doesn't allow it. Yes, I would absolutely use a sideline email system for that. You could use MailChimp. You could use a lot of things. We've got some solutions for you. Let us know if you would like that. Where do you post these video shorts? Dr. Makulik, great to see you, by the way. So you post these shorts on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, and then on your website. Okay. And we'll put them also on your Google business directory. You want them everywhere. As Tamara just said, you know, when you are in a position where you've got the content and you have the access to the social media channels, you just go boop, 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 boop. You just literally copy the hashtags, you know, and just, is that what you do? Is that what you do? Yeah. So great questions. The video looks like it was the doctor making the video. Should it be the doctor or anyone? It could be anyone in the office. Absolutely. Good. And we are coming up to 2:15. I'm going to say this. The last thing I want to tell you. It's time to market. It's time to market. It's time to market. I think you guys are getting the message. It's time to market. Whatever you're doing, bump it. Google ads costs have just gone through the roof. What was an $18 click? We're seeing as high as $60 click now. Okay, that's why we're being very stingy about our budget, being very calculated about it. But realize, so the costs have just gone up, just like gasoline, just like milk, just like bread. Okay, so for you to get the same bang for your buck, you're gonna have to put down some money. And yes, monitor it and make sure that we're getting that. Expand your channels. And on that point, I want you to think with any past successful marketing that has worked for you, I want you to revisit it potentially. You're welcome to run it by me. But what's worked for you in the past? I don't care if it was 6 months ago or 4 years ago. It may not work today like it worked then, but if it worked for you in the past, I want you to package it up in a shiny new dress and launch it big and loud. So take a look at what has worked in the past. Get that found, isolated, and launched. You know, you can pilot it out a little bit. You start to get some traction, throttle it, and put some budget behind it. So that's kind of your homework assignment. I would suggest a few things. Start playing with video shorts. Just start playing with it. Just start having fun with it. If you're going to do them, very, very important to hold the phone horizontally, right, which is landscape, and get a microphone. Okay, whether you get like the Purple Panda corded microphone or the plug-in thing, test it before you do an hour's worth of shorts and find out that the audio didn't work. Okay, and it's not scrubbing up against your, you know, clothes and drowning out everything. So do a test of one video, test it out, and then go forward. Start playing around with that, doing social media posts, getting out in the community, doing some specials. These are different things. Now, if at the end of this, you're sitting here going, I came here for help and man, I'm all confused. That's a lot of stuff. and you need some help, like where should I start? Well, then reach out to me, reach out to us. We'll sit and go through your marketing and take a look. Listen, based on what you're doing currently, what you'd like to add, what your interest is, what your market is, what your competition's doing. Yeah, here's what we're going to suggest you do. So with all that, any questions for me? Any questions? Excellent. Glad to hear it. Thanks, Tracy. Appreciate the kind words. Make sure you have video unmuted when testing, even if your volume is up. Yeah, that's right. So, Abby, thank you, Abby. So what she just said is when you do your video and then you play it back to test it, if you don't unmute it and you sometimes don't unplug the microphone, you're like, oh, there's no audio. Well, you got to unplug your microphone and you got to press the unmute button. Yeah. Things you learn. School of Hard Knocks. Make sure when you start recording, before you go into recording, what should you do before you start recording, whether it's a reveal video, a patient testimonial, a doctor short, a doctor interview, what should you do? Come on, guys. I've told you this. What do you do before you start recording? I see some people mouthing it. Turn your microphones on. Tell me.
Airplane mode.
Airplane mode. Spot on. Spot on. Go into airplane mode, because if you get a phone call during that thing, your video minimally stops, but most likely the whole recording's gone. Okay. So airplane mode. You definitely want to use a phone that, if you're going to do patient testimonials, I would suggest it being the practice phone rather than a staff member's phone, just for HIPAA compliancy. And if you guys want, let me know. I've got that whole filming tutorial guideline book that I just did. That was, people really like it. It makes it simple, it has all of these stuff. So just email me for that and I'll send that to you, danb@mgeonline.com. Good. Any other questions? How has today been? Kind of good, not so good. Okay, good. Anybody have any other questions? Anybody have any other questions? Does Doc's phone qualify as an office phone? Doctors, yes, doctor owner's phone does qualify as a office phone. It does. What I suggest, anybody who's ready to upgrade, keep your old phone. Like I've got the iPhone 13. I'm not upgrading to the iPhone 14. But probably come the iPhone 15, I will. And I will keep this phone because it's such a great phone. I also have my iPhone 12 and I have my iPhone 11, and I use those around. They've got a broken back now and stuff. There's no SIM card in it. I remove it and I have it synced up to iCloud. So everything I record on it gets backed up into the cloud. So if the phone was destroyed or grew legs and walked away, right, because that can happen, then all the files are backed up. It's a great question. Any other questions for me? Any other thing for like end of the year marketing? We're going to do another one next month, but I'm telling you, if you don't do your use it or lose it campaign right now, you're already late. So get started with your October campaign. Probably you're going to see the most effectiveness on a texting campaign. Mass texting, do not use your practice software for mass texting. Even if like those with Practice Mojo and such, if you can do it, don't, because people who then unsubscribe from that, they unsubscribe from your practice management, two-way confirmation texting platform. So you don't want that. So use a side-by-side marketing platform for the bulk texting. That's why we use our digital reactivation program. Any other questions?
I think you cover everything except for Tracy asked a question to Tamara about boosting posts. Do you all boost your Facebook posts? No.
Yeah.
I need a little help on that. That's a new thing for me and I would love to know more about it. So
good. I'd be happy to help you with that. It's a great tool, especially if your following isn't so strong. Now you guys have a massive following. Okay. So we should still explore it. We should still explore it, because what you're doing is, again, you have your followers, but when you boost it, you're now selecting a demographic to hit their contacts. And it's relatively, inexpensive. We have a larger following. You'll go through that budget a little bit faster, but definitely worthwhile. So, and I'll help you with that. You guys, no problem on that. Yeah. What you got?
The one thing I was going to say about TikTok, which, a lot of it's been a learning experience for me. I've done everything that you have recommended me to do with TikTok. One thing is, which some people may know about this, but like for viewings, like to get a lot of views on your TikTok videos, you need to make sure that the music that you're using attaching to those videos Because what I was doing was posting the videos with my music that I was adding to the video.
Yeah.
On TikTok, they have trending music. So if you attach a trending sound with your video, like a testimonial, you can turn the volume all the way down so they can't hear the music that's been played, but you're also getting those viewings because the music's trending. I didn't learn that until about a month ago.
That's a great tip. It's a great tip. Again,
Yeah.
on all of these things, they have different algorithms of like, how are they going to expose things? And so if the music is trending, or if there's a certain way that the video was created and that's trending, and you've created that video using that format or that music, it gets you more traction. So great point. Love that. Thank you. Good.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Would it be useful to use an iPhone for like taking videos and pictures, or an iPad?
Either. Listen, whatever shoots HD, which is high definition, which is like any phone since like 2012. Okay. So most iPads, most tablets have an HD. What you want is HD, which is high definition. It's 1080p. That's all like perio charting. The patient doesn't need to know what the numbers mean. You don't need to know what those numbers mean. But what you're not doing is you're trying not to do the front facing camera. Try not to use the front facing camera unless you got a really, really, awesome new Android. Okay. Even the front facing camera on the iPhones. So you're using the back, which is better for you because you can't look at yourself. What do we commonly see when somebody's looking at, doing a front facing camera, where they're doing a video like this? It looks like this. Hi guys. So I just want to let you know that, it just doesn't look right. So you're having the patient look at the lens, or you're having him look at you and the lens is right next to you or whatever. And you're like, and hopefully you're not holding it like this. You've got a little tripod. So any iPhone, any iPad, use the back, not the front. Airplane mode. Great question.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Dr. Patel. Good. Any other questions? Otherwise, I'm going to show you a few more shorts because I want you guys to get some ideas. How many of you would like to see more shorts from Dr. Salvatore? Okay, I'm going to fill that space unless you got a question for me. Okay, here we go. More shorts, very easy to do. And I don't want you to look at him and go, oh yeah, but he's this and that. Oh, listen, he's, you don't know how many pauses were edited out of this, okay? Pauses and mess ups. Still, pauses and mess ups, still, it took 35 minutes to do this. So, white fillings.
Here at Salvatore Dental, we place only the white tooth-colored fillings. A long time ago, a good standard of care was to have the metal amalgam fillings, but here, when we replace your fillings, they're tooth-colored, they're bonded, they're sealed, and they last a great amount of time. And when you open or you smile in pictures, you don't see a nice black spot.
Okay, so what you also see coming around there is what we call that B-roll. B-roll is the pictures and such that, give some substance to what he's saying. And the video editor added that in as well. Here's on veneers.
One service that we provide here are veneers. So veneer is basically a covering over your teeth that can completely transform your smile. If you're ever watching TV and you wonder why all these movie stars and news anchors have such beautiful white teeth, they're all porcelain veneers. Here at Salvatore Dental, we do a bunch of cases with veneers, and the results that we get are spectacular.
Short and sweet. I mean, it's just like that. Short and sweet. Next one.
So one service that our patients enjoy here is teeth whitening. Who doesn't want a whiter smile? A couple of factors that can come in to make your teeth stain. Red wine, coffee, and tea are kind of the big three main ones. I would never tell a patient not to drink coffee because that's not something I would do myself. I drink a lot of coffee. It's kind of my fuel. You just want to make sure that when you're getting whitening, you're going to the dentist, you're getting the professional grade whitening to make sure that your teeth get whitened all the way as deep as they can, but also making sure that there's no sensitivity.
And do you see, it's like, that's helpful data. So I'm getting the content while I'm also meeting the doctor. Do you see, people are walking in after they see his videos and they're a little bit starstruck. I even get it here at MGE. People come and say, hi, this is my first time at MGE. Can I get a photo with you? And I'm like, dude, I'm a consultant, but they see you on video and it makes it, it's like interesting, the effect. So people come in a little bit starstruck having seen him. So this is a good one. I like this one.
So I've got a tip for you all that's going to save you literally thousands of dollars. This tip is super easy and it only takes about a minute a day. You might not like what it is, it's flossing. So the best way to protect your teeth and to prevent unnecessary and very large dental expenses in the future is to floss daily. Brush for 2 minutes, floss and rinse, and you'll have some very healthy teeth.
Quick and easy, quick and easy.
I get a lot is what happens if I'm in pain and I don't want to see the dentist. So the great thing is that now we have many ways to make sure you receive pain-free dentistry. We use anesthesia or Novocaine to make sure you're completely numb. But on top of that, we have ways of relieving anxiety. We can use a little pill beforehand. It's called minimal sedation, or we even in some rare instances can bring an anesthesiologist so you're literally snoring through the appointment.
Good. And see, I think I got time for one more, maybe two. Let's see.
One thing that I'm passionate about here at Salvatore Dental is the full arch treatment that we use for patients where we remove your teeth, give you implants, and you receive a new smile the same day. Starting off, I thought it would just be helping my patients with their smile and chewing and eating, but what I actually see is the emotional impact that it has on my patients. Afterwards, they really come out of their shells. I had patients who have gotten married, patients who've gotten new jobs, all because of their teeth. And what I always tell my patients to look at is when you look at the before and after pictures, don't even look at the mouth. Look at their eyes, look at their face, look how they've warmed up, look how they look younger. This is all due to the new smile that we've provided them.
Good. And what do you guys think of that? What do you think? Good stuff, right? Well, I want to just tell you this. You guys have been awesome, and we're at the end of it. Are you happy you came? Good. I would love to hear from you, some feedback, what you liked about this, what you would like help with, and what you would like at the next one. We're going to do one in probably 2 or 3 weeks, and I would love to know what you would like to have as part of that. I'm obviously going to have my scheduled content, but I always tailor make it around what you need and want. Guys, you are awesome. You're doing a great job. You're saving people's lives. You're extending people's lives. Keep it going. We're here for you if you need anything. And until the next time, have a great Halloween, and we'll see you back in about 2 or 3 weeks.